Good evening. I'm very glad that you decided to be here this evening. I'm very thankful to get this opportunity to stand before you. And so tonight, this is another lesson that Alicia suggested to me, and it was too good to pass up on. So I'm presenting another one from her. And this time we're going to talk about water bottles. Water bottles? Why would we talk about water bottles? Well, of course, it has a little bit of a story. Well, this water bottle, I would say I bought, but that's not true. My mom bought from Costco and a giant pack of water bottles. Water bottles probably worth pennies, right? Not very much. My mom bought 40 for probably $3. So that water bottle is worth pennies. It's worth nothing. Now this water bottle, hypothetically, I bought this water bottle at a high school soccer game. That water bottle would have cost me like $1.25, right? Same water bottle. Now this water bottle, my third water bottle, that water bottle I bought at the airport, which means it was $5, right? Because everything is more expensive at the airport. They put you in there, they don't tell you to bring anything in, and they're like, now you got to pay $5 for that water bottle. But look at these water bottles. Do you see any difference? I don't. They all look like the exact same water bottle, but they're each valued at 3 drastically different price points. One is worth pennies, one's worth $1 or $2, and the third is worth $5. But there's nothing different about these 3 water bottles. The water's not better, the bottle's not better, nothing is different. But because somebody said they were worth more at different places, we pay more at different places. And so you may be thinking, why in the world are we talking about the price of water bottles? Well, we're talking about the price of water bottles because, funny enough, it applies to our lives. The world looks at us and it says, you are nothing. You are in a pack of people just like you, and like this water bottle, you're worth pennies because you're in bulk. I can find somebody else who can do what you can do. I can find someone else who looks like you, who talks like you. The world tells you you're worth nothing. And they beat you down and they tear you down. But God looks at us and He says that we are beyond any monetary value. He says there's no money in the world, there's not enough money ever in the world that could put a value on what your life is worth to me. Turn with me to 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 18 through 19. Here we see just the amazing, incomprehensible value that God puts on our lives. In 1 Peter chapter 1, starting in verse 18, it says, "For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by traditions from your father. But," so we are redeemed by this, "but with the precious blood of Christ as a lamb without blemish and without spot." God starts off and He says, there was nothing in this world, there's not enough silver, not enough gold to redeem you. There wasn't enough value in the world that I could purchase you for. But there's one thing that you're worth. You're worth the blood of my only begotten Son. The one who came down, who lived a perfect life, who set a perfect example. God says that is how much I value your life. He says, you are worth more than anyone could ever offer me on this world. No man could ever pay me enough for one person. But I was willing to send my only begotten Son, the one who was perfect, could come down and purchase you. You are worth God's Son's blood. The perfect blood, the perfect example. That is what God values you at. And whenever we let that sink in, it really blows our mind, right? God looked at us, a sinner, and said, you know what? You alone are worth sending my Son down to die for you. He said His Son's blood was enough for you. So as you go through this rest of this week, as you go through your lives, the world is going to tear you down. The world is going to try to beat you down. They're going to try to tell you you're not worth it. Don't listen to the world. Whenever they say you're not worth it, look to God. Look to him and say, God, remind me of the amazing value that I have in my life. And he will look at you and he will say, you are worth sending my son to die for. And let that sink in. And just let it resonate in your life to be able to go forward and endure the belittling that the world brings upon us. And so the last question tonight is, who are we going to listen to? Are you going to listen to the world who tells you you're not worth anything, that you're nothing special? Or are you going to listen to the God, the creator of all, who looks at you and says, you are worth everything. You are sending my son down to die for you. Who will you listen to? If you have any needs of the congregation, please come forward as we stand and sing.